Okay, let's just jump right into this. You've got an economics exam tomorrow. You're staring at this massive mountain of notes, feeling that pre-exam panic kind of creeping in, and you just need the absolute core essentials. Well, look, you are in exactly the right place. This explainer is your ultimate last-minute revision playbook. We're doing a full high-yield sweep of the chapters, diving deeply into the most critical concepts, and spotlighting the absolute most important things you have to remember before you walk into that exam room.
Now, if you're aiming for that top grade, an A star, it's really not just about frantically memorizing a textbook tonight. Exam stress is totally real, and I completely get it. But true success in economics, it's about combining a solid, deep mastery of the core concepts with just ruthless strategic execution once you're sitting at that desk. It's about seeing how all these ideas link together and knowing exactly what the examiner is actually looking for. So take a deep breath. We've got this.
All right, let's quickly map out exactly what we're covering today. First up, the basic economic problem. Second, microeconomics and market choices. Third, macroeconomics and the big picture. Then we are pivoting straight to pure strategy, Paper 1 MCQ cheat codes, and finally, Paper 2 writing frameworks.
Section 1. The basic economic problem. We are kicking things off with the absolute foundation, because if you don't grasp this, literally nothing else is going to make sense.
The core issue of literally all economics is scarcity. You know, you're human, you want stuff, food, shelter, maybe a slightly larger TV than your cousin has, but there are simply not enough resources on planet Earth to give every single person everything they want. And this isn't just a temporary shortage, this is the permanent human condition. Like one of our sources perfectly put it, if there were infinite pizza, economics wouldn't even exist. But there isn't. And because there isn't enough stuff to go around, we are forced to make choices.
And every single choice has a cost. Enter opportunity cost. This is a big one. It's the next best alternative you give up when you make a decision. Think about it. By choosing to sit here and watch this explainer to prep for your exam, you are actively giving up the chance to spend the next 10 minutes watching internet cat fails. Those unseen cat fails, that is your opportunity cost.
So, to actually make the things we choose to produce, we need inputs. Whether you're whipping up avocado toast or building heavy-duty tractors, you need the 4 factors of production. Now listen, examiners absolutely love testing these specific pairings, so lock them into your brain right now. Land provides natural resources, and its reward is rent. Labor is human effort, and that earns wages. Capital is man-made equipment, earning interest. And finally, enterprise. That's the risk-taking that organizes the whole shebang, and that earns profit. These 4 things are the building blocks of every single supply chain on Earth.
Okay, moving on to Section 2, micro, markets and choices. We know resources are scarce, right? So how are they actually handed out in the real world?
While the golden rule of markets is surprisingly simple, people respond to incentives. If a slice of pizza is $100, you're definitely not buying it. If it's $1, you're probably buying 7. Lower prices strongly incentivize buyers to demand more. But on the flip side, higher prices incentivize sellers to supply more because they want to make more money. This constant tug-of-war between buyers and sellers creates the absolute magic of supply, demand, and ultimately market equilibrium. That's that sweet spot, the exact point where everyone who wants to buy finds someone who wants to sell.
Well, we can't just look at individual people forever. We've got to zoom the telescope way out. Microeconomics looks at personal choices, single firms, specific markets, like the market for sneakers or pancakes. Macroeconomics, on the other hand, deals with the whole picture, the massive scale. It's looking at entire national economies, huge government decisions, overall inflation, and total unemployment.
Which brings us right to Section 3, macro, the big picture. Welcome to the massive, complicated juggling act that every government on the planet has to perform.
Generally speaking, every government wants the exact same 4 things: steady economic growth, low unemployment, stable prices, meaning low inflation, and a stable balance of payments. But here's the trick that examiners love to catch you on. These aims frequently conflict with each other. For example, if a government pushes way too hard for rapid economic growth, aggregate demand surges across the board, and bam, that sudden surge can accidentally trigger massive inflation. You fix one problem, and you literally cause another. So, how do we actually measure that economic growth? We use GDP. Gross domestic product. Now notice the absolutely vital word final here. We only count the value of final goods and services. If you're baking bread, you don't count the value of the raw flour and then also the value of the finished bread. If you do that, you're double counting, and economically speaking, that is 100% cheating. To manage these goals and actually try to fix the economy, governments basically have three main levers they can pull. First, fiscal policy. That's adjusting taxes and government spending to manage overall demand. Second, monetary policy. This is when central banks tweak interest rates to control the money supply. And third, supply-side policies. These are all about boosting the long-term productive capacity of the country. Think investing in better schools or building huge new highways.
All right, Section 4, Paper 1, MCQ Strategy. Take a breath here. We are pivoting very sharply from conceptual theory to pure, unapologetic exam execution. Time for the cheat codes.
This quote? It comes straight from one of our top scoring sources, and honestly, it is brilliant advice. Look, exam stress makes your brain completely freeze up. Even if the calculation looks incredibly simple, just use your calculator. Under the intense pressure of a ticking clock, you absolutely do not want to lose free marks just because your brain blanked on basic addition. Guarantee those points. Okay, here are the real insider secrets for Paper 1. First up, the questions almost always follow the exact syllabus order right from Chapter 1 through 6. So if you're totally stuck on question 15 and you know that's generally the Chapter 3 section of the paper, you know the answer has to relate to microeconomic decision makers, not some wild global exchange rate stuff. Also, physically circle the keywords in the prompt. Use the process of elimination. And remember, sometimes multiple answers kinda look right. You have to choose the one that is best suited to the specific relationship they are asking about.
Section 5, Paper 2, Writing Frameworks. Now for the heavy hitter. Paper 2 is worth 70% of your grade, and in this section, structure isn't just important, structure is literally everything. I want you to burn this phrase into your memory tonight. Examiners are not grading you on flowery prose or beautiful metaphors. They want precise, concise, accurate economic terminology. Do not waste precious time going off on a tangent. State your point, back it up with a solid economic theory, and move immediately to the next one.
The absolute make or break skill here is reading the command word. It dictates exactly how much time you should invest. If a question says define for 2 marks, give the textbook definition and stop writing. Seriously, don't write a whole paragraph. If it says explain for 4 marks, you have to provide the how and the why. Analyze for 6 marks means detailing relationships step by step using actual economic theory. And then we get to the boss level, the 8-mark discuss question.
All right, here is your ultimate 4-paragraph cheat code for that massive 8-mark discuss question. Paragraph 1, define the key economic terms right from the prompt. Paragraph 2, argue one side, give the pros or advantages. Paragraph 3, argue the exact opposite side, the cons or disadvantages. You absolutely must hit both sides because your marks are severely capped if you only give a one-sided argument. Finally, paragraph 4, give a balanced conclusion summarizing what you just proved. If you stick to this blueprint, you are locking in those top band marks.
And our final piece of tactical advice, whenever you get the chance to throw a relevant graph into a long answer, do it. A well-drawn, clearly labeled production possibility curve or a supply and demand diagram visually proves to the examiner that you fully understand the mechanics behind the words you're writing. It takes a good answer and elevates it into an outstanding one.
So let's take a step back. We've done the deep dive, we've covered the core concepts from the permanent reality of scarcity all the way to the complex juggling act of macroeconomic policy. You now have the exact frameworks to decode the multiple choice tricks and structure your written essays flawlessly. You've got the playbook, the frameworks, and the concepts. Tomorrow, you're going to crush this exam. But long after this test is over, remember this. You now have a lens to decode the real world around you, from the price of your morning coffee to the sprawling policies of your government. The real question is, how will you use it?